Thank you very much for joining us today. Till, firstly, just give us some insight into the state of the aviation sector. We've had some positives with, of course, the Gabon hosting the Cup of Nations. So, of course, you had increased passenger volumes. You had an upgrade to the Libreville airport. And then, of course, you've had some failed local airlines. So, overall, where does the aviation sector sit right now?
Well, it's indeed a very positive sign and development for Gabon, notably in 2011 with some special effects. As you mentioned, the Pan-African Soccer Championship that took place here. There is a stable growth in Gabon. Currently, as European Airlines, Lufthansa is providing the flights from Libreville via Europe to the rest of the world with all our star partners. I think for the time being, seeing also that the local airline, former local airline is for the time being not flying anymore, there is certainly some more demand, more capacity in the market. So it will be pretty interesting and, if not to say challenging, to see what will happen here in the future with the Gabonese market.
I mean, where does Gabon fit in with your overall West African strategy? Because just looking at overall passengers for the year, 700,000, that's for Gabon. But looking at Lufthansa Nigeria, just the Lufthansa Nigeria route between Germany transports 3 million passengers. So overall, what type of scope do you see for your company within Gabon right now?
Yeah, I think we have to look at not only at Lufthansa but also at the Lufthansa Group. For Lufthansa, Gabon is an important market here. We have our oil and energy strategy. We are now in countries where we didn't fly some 10 years ago, like Malabo, Pointe-Noire in the Republic of Congo, and not to forget Gabon. In the Lufthansa Group, we also have the other airlines like Swiss, like Brussels Airline, Brussels being very strong in the west of Africa. So, of course, Gabon is not necessarily our biggest market here in Central Africa, but an important market, and we look at the overall picture in the Lufthansa Group, and then it's one step between others.
And as you say, geared towards the oil and gas sector, and of course being present in countries like that, how's the competition and how's the space in terms of other competitors? Because there are other airlines operating, African airlines, you've got other European airlines. So is it highly competitive, or is there enough demand there?
I think for the time being there is, I don't want to invite other airlines, so to speak, but I think there is still more space for other airlines as we have a high demand in the market right now, which we have seen this summer. Especially from Gabon to Europe. When you look at the portfolio of the company and the President Ali Bongo inviting more and more international companies to the country, you will see that there are new routes opening up. When you travel to China with one of our competitors, you will see the whole traffic going over to China. You will see our traffic going to the US on board on our Lufthansa flights. I think there's a lot of more competition coming up here in this market, but Lufthansa will make sure that we stay in this market, and then we have a growing market share, and we will be as successful as we have been here in the past 3 years.
In order to increase your presence there and increase routes, what needs to take place from an infrastructure point of view, and is there enough funding backing this?
Yeah, the infrastructure here, I would say, if you compare the infrastructure in Gabon to the infrastructure, the airports of other neighboring countries, including what I just heard from before from your report from Lagos, I would say Gabon has a pretty good airport here, infrastructure-wise, and it's almost a sort of state-of-the-art for the region, mostly because last year in 2011 it was renovated and made fit for the soccer event. And that is still lasting. I mean, just in a personal experience, if you compare, you arrived here in Gabon 2 years ago and you needed to calculate more than 1 hour for immigration. Right now, this is very smooth, and if you're lucky, you'll be done with immigration and picking up your bag within 20 minutes. And I think this is outstanding for an airport here in this region, and there's further potential. So when we look at, also when we talk about local airlines here, the idea is, of course, why not making Gabon a hub, a regional hub here for this region, where then you have various other companies serving Gabon on long-haul flights and dispersing here with local airlines, with regional airlines into the region.
Till fascinating, and of course delivering some good news with regards to progress from an infrastructure point of view and of course from an aviation point of view. Thank you so much for joining us. That of course Till Heene, the GM of Lufthansa Gabon.